Hello, and welcome back to Underground Review with John Lemari. This is, as far as I know, the only movie review show that takes place underground. Very cool. I'm going to be reviewing Time Bandits today. This is a 1981 film directed by Terry Gilliam, with co-written with Michael Palin. It tells the story of a young man named Kevin traveling through time and space with a bunch of little people. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of little people in this movie. There was a few times where I was thinking, let me try to count them. And I was paying attention. I was really paying attention. I was trying to think of their names. There was a few times I tried to... I gave up after a little bit. Terry Gilliam, he knows how to keep a camera moving around, And the time travelers steal a map from the Supreme Being, which I assume to be a stand-in for God. Not very biblically accurate, to my knowledge. But the map allows them to hop around time, to place, to steal treasure. So not the most interesting plot. I really had high hopes for this after hearing how much people love Brazil. I know a lot of people really like that movie. I personally haven't seen it. So I was hoping for a little bit more, knowing how good Brazil is. I'll definitely need to watch that soon. Set piece after set piece of this kid. He's just having the time of his life, and the man to child ratio, I just have to say, again, is a head scratcher. Kevin's not the everyman that I can personally relate to. I think about a quarter way through the movie, I was kind of looking towards some of the other characters, hoping that maybe they would have a little bit more to do, or maybe some more character development that I could personally relate to. But I'm not actually. I'm 27. I'm not actually a child. They end up getting cornered in hell, and then they have to give the map back. So it's kind of a scary movie. And the scariest moment is right at the end. Kevin is being rescued by a firefighter, and his parents are there, and Kevin's just really he's trying to get their attention. Mom, dad. And it's kind of a dreamlike scenario where the parents are just they're not hearing him, and something really terrible happens. And I personally felt that scene, and I was a little frightened. And it's right there at the end, blinking in, so maybe someone's getting up to go to the bathroom, you can rewind or something. If I had to make a sequel, this is actually going to be one of the segments on the show. I'm going to pitch a sequel to the movies that I review, because I feel like I've got a good brain for that. If I had to make a sequel, and if I'm going to sketch some of my thoughts here, here's what I would do. I didn't really... There's a lot of staple plot points I haven't figured out yet. Mostly, I was trying to figure out what Kevin would be doing as an adult. What job would he have? So something like a tax examiner. No, he's a bounty hunter. Kevin is a bounty hunter inspired. This is only on YouTube. As a bounty hunter inspired by all the little people. No, Repo Man. Okay. Locking in Repo Man. He's repossessing a car. Is this like 19? No. We're going forward. This is 2009. 2009. Kevin is a repo man. He's repossessing a car, and all the little time traveling bandits show up, and they say, "Kevin, wow, you're so big. The Supreme Being wants us to do some census work, and we need someone who has free will." So they use Kevin for his free will. They have an established relationship. It could be anyone else, but who's going to be that receptive to all those little guys showing up? Kevin's got, experience with them. So prior relationship stuff. But now this is where it gets really interesting. So they show up and they say, "We got to do some sense work." Turns out there's a body in the trunk of the car that Kevin is repoing. So rest of the movie writes itself at that point. Terry Gilliam back to direct for sure. I think Spike Lee as a producer would be good to maybe get, and this is like, perfect world. if I could pick anybody, kind of thing. I would probably get Ridley Scott to co-write this one. Throw that dog a bone. He definitely needs a win these days, and I think the source material is good enough that he'll probably have a good time with this one. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Time Bandits is an incredibly flawed film, and I would love to see a Kevin Repo Man sequel. I think it would ripen the original for thousands of would-be fans. But yeah, this has been Underground Review with John Lemari. I'm John Lemari. And get back up to the surface safe.